After appearing and participating on the Archon quest, Sigewinne is finally available on the second half of the version 4.7 for everyone to pull. In this video, I will explain all you need to know about her, how to build her, how to play with her, everything. 97% of you are not subscribed, so please don't forget to leave a like and a sub if you like this video. It's totally free and that way YouTube will know you like my content and will start recommending it more for you and for other people as well. We have a video every Wednesday and Saturday if you are interested, and all my links are in the description. And before I forget, for those who want to support me even more, you can always become a member. Without any furthers, let's now talk about Sigewinne's kit. Sigewinne is a 5-star Hydro Bow user, focused on being a healer for your teams, but mainly focused on teams with elemental skills that act off-field, while also having a source of dealing some damage with her burst. On her normal attacks, Sigewinne performs up to 3 attacks, and on her charge attacks, she performs a more precise aim shot with increased damage. A good addition to Sigewinne is that while aiming, the Pyra of Hydro will continuously accumulate on the arrow. After fully charging, will periodically fire bubbles towards the target, dealing Hydro damage. When released, an arrow will deal Hydro damage to the opponent hit. When you use your skill, Rebound Hydrotherapy, Sigewinne blows a blustering bubble bomb that will bounce between nearby opponents, dealing Hydro damage based on her max HP upon contact. When it bounces, it will restore HP to all nearby party members except Sigewinne herself, and the amount healed is based on her own max HP. After bouncing 5 times, the bubble will disappear and restore HP to Sigewinne based on her max HP value. Only one bubble created by Sigewinne may exist at once, and if you hold your skill, the bubble can be boosted to even a bigger size up to 2 tiers. Each tier will increase both his damage and healing by 5%. When a bubble bounces, it will drop down a tier in size, until it returns to being a normal bubble. After weaker opponents are hit by this big bubble, they will be unable to move. In addition, 2 droplets will be created near Sigewinne when she uses the skill. Each droplet she collects will grant her a bond of life worth of 10% of her max HP. When Sigewinne's bond of life is cleared, she regains 1 elemental energy for every 2000 HP worth of the bond of life that was cleared, and she can regain up to 5 elemental energy this way. And for last, on her burst, Super Saturated Syringing, Sigewinne takes out a special syringe and pretends to be her father Nuvilet, dealing Hydro damage based on her max HP. In addition, Sigewinne absorbs the 2 nearby Source Water droplets within a certain range when she uses this skill. With her Exploration passive, Emergency Dose, she will heal your active character over 2.5 seconds if their HP falls under 50% when underwater, and the amount healed is equal to 50% of their max HP, and their all elemental and physical res will be decreased by 10% for 10 seconds. This effect can be triggered up to once every 20 seconds. With her first Ascension passive, Requires Appropriate Rest, Sigewinne grants herself the semi-strict bed rest effect for 18 seconds after using her skill. With this effect, Sigewinne gains an 8% Hydro damage bonus and 10 stacks of Convalescence. Every time an elemental skill of your off-field party members other than Sigewinne deals damage, you will consume one of those stacks to increase the damage dealt by that elemental skill. Every 1000 max HP Sigewinne has above 30,000 increases the damage by 80, and the maximum damage increase for elemental skills that can be gained in this way is 2800. And for her second Ascension passive, Detailed Diagnosis, Thorough Treatment, when Sigewinne performs healing, the amount healed for this instance is increased based on the total current value of the bonds of life on all party members. For each 1000 HP worth of bonds of life, the outgoing healing is increased by 3%. The amount of healing provided can be increased up to a 30% in this way. Her talent priorities are the following: focus on your skill first, since that's where most of your heals will come from, then your burst for extra damage, and for last your basic attacks, which you can leave at level 1. Now let's talk a bit about Sigewinne Constellations for those that were waiting for her and want to invest a lot. On her C1, the bubble created by the skill can bounce 3 extra times, and the first 3 bounces will not cause the big bubble to become smaller. Additionally, her first Ascension talent is enhanced. Each bubble bounce adds 1 stack of Convalence's tally, and the values of the Convalence's stacks damage bonus will be modified to increase 100 instead of 80 damage for every 1000 max HP she has over 30,000. And the new maximum damage increase for elemental skills that can be gained in this way is 3500. On her C2, when using her skill and her burst, Sigewinne can create a bubble shield worth of 30% of her max HP that absorbs Hydro damage with 250% efficiency. The bubble shield will persist until Sigewinne finishes using relevant skills. Additionally, After the skill bubble or her burst hit opponents, that opponent's Hydro Res will be decreased by 35% for 8 seconds. Her C3 will increase the level of her skill by 3, with her C4, the duration of her burst is extended by 3 seconds, her C5 will increase the level of her burst by 3, and for last, with her C6, when Sigewinne performs healing, she will increase the crit rate and crit damage of her burst based on her max HP. Every 1000 max HP she has will increase crit rate by 0.4% and crit damage by 2.2% for 15 seconds. The maximum increase achieved this way is 200% crit rate and 110% crit damage. Now it's time to talk about the best artifact sets you should farm for your Sigewinne. Even though Sigewinne can deal damage with her burst, her main role is still being a healer. So in my opinion, her best in slot set should be one set that mixes both of them. It will either be 4-piece Ocean Hood Clam or 4-piece Song of Days Past. Both provide 15% healing bonus on their 2 pieces, and they both have a 4-piece effects that contribute to your team's damage. Ocean Hood will accumulate the healing provided for 3 seconds, and then will deal damage to opponents nearby based on the healing that was accumulated. And Song of Days Past will record the healing provided to your team for 6 seconds, but instead of dealing damage based on it, gives your team an additive damage bonus. Both are very similar on what they do, so it's up to you on deciding which one you want to farm. Just keep in mind that both are on domains where not a lot of people go and farm, but Ocean Hood at least has a strong box available. Since Sigewinne can't utilize very well the 4-piece tenacity of the Millilith, I recommend going for a 2-piece combination between the sets that provide HP percent or healing bonus, if you do end up not going for Ocean or Song of Days Past. Now that we know the best sets, let's now talk about the best stats you should be looking for. For the Sands, HP percent. For the Goblet, also HP percent. And for the Circlet, you guessed it, HP percent. Since her buffs, healing and personal damage are based on HP, I actually believe the best option would be triple HP percent. And since without C6 her burst damage is not needed, you can pretty much ignore ER on her if your only goal is to maximize her healer and buffer capabilities. For the substats, you should focus on HP percent, ER and crits, especially crit rate if you decide to use Favonius. For Sigewinne weapons, her best in slot will be the signature Silver Shower Hurt Strings, both for healing and also for damage. This weapon will provide a lot of HP percent on its substat, and thanks to its passive, Sigewinne can further increase her HP with a max of 3 stacks she gets when she uses her skill, increases her bond of life and or heals a character. Additionally, when you get the 3 stacks, her burst crit rate increases by 28% and she will lose this buff when 4 seconds after losing the 3 stacks. Other 5-star bow that can be used, especially for those who plan on making Sigewinne deal damage, is Aqua Simulacra, thanks to the amount of crit damage it gives on the substat, and the HP and damage increase it provides on the substat. But for those who don't have any interest on maximizing her damage and they just want a competent healer or buffer, this bow is a skip because you have more achievable options. Her best F2P weapon will be the 3-star Recurve bow, which provides a good amount of HP on its substat and its passive restores your HP when defeating enemies. This weapon is mainly good because of the HP percent it provides, and its passive is not that useful, and for those who don't know, you can only get this bow randomly on higher quality chests on Mondstadt and as rewards for 3 other missions. So if you already explored everything on Mondstadt, pray for gods that you still need to do the dialogue quests. And for last, for those unlucky players that threw all of their 3-star weapons to fodder XP for better weapons, you can always use Sacrificial or Favonius bow. It's not better than having HP percent on the substat, but at least you get some energy for yourself and for your team. For Sigewinne teams, you will probably always end up having a place for her in any team that needs a Hydro healer, even if that team doesn't use Farina, because if you didn't get it yet, Sigewinne's main purpose is to be a healer more focused towards Farina, because she heals a lot and buffs skill damage, so that's all Farina wants. Here are some of my team options. For an off-field team, pair her with Farina, Yaimiko or Fischl, and Kazuha. For a Taser team, pair her with Farina, Fischl, and Chlorine. For an Navia team, pair her with Farina, Shiori, and Navia. For a Wriothesley team, pair her with Farina, Wriothesley, and Shenhe. For a Nilou team, pair her with Farina, Alhaitham, and Nilou. And for a Hyperbloom team, pair her with Yelan, Kuki, and Nahida. Just a reminder that Sigewinne will always be a good healer for any team, even without Farina. And don't limit yourself into only using these teams if you would want to try something else. If you have any team you think it's worth a mention, or if you want suggestions on what characters to use instead of the ones I recommended, feel free to comment about it down below. So what's your opinion about Sigewinne? After this guide, I hope you have more understanding on how to build and play with her. If you like my content, don't forget to leave your sub, and to like this video. Your support is amazing, and I'm so happy to have you from that side. 97% of you are not subscribed, so press that subscribe button and come join this community. A special thanks to my members for trying to support me even more, and thank you so much for staying until the end. See you every Wednesday and Saturday, stay safe everyone, and good luck with your pulls.